An open letter to my grandparents. I am a romantic. I have always found it easiest to approach life through an emotionally evocative lens, and thus metaphor and hyperbole tend to factor heavily in my thinking. Of course, I know that springtime is not literally the marriage of the sun and the earth, just as I know that the human impulse to greed is not literally the Semitic deity Mammon. But for some reason, I have always found better purchase when grappling with these concepts to envelop them in mythological dress. I lay the blame for this squarely at the feet of my father, who, in his wisdom, read me The Hobbit when I was perhaps 5 years old, and tuned my cognitive and emotional processes to the key of elvish song. Some find the study of the Constitution tedious, though if I imagine the founders writing it in moon runes, it comes alive for me in a very peculiar and engrossing way. I tell you all this as a means of giving some context to my thoughts and feelings regarding my grandparents. For years now, tradition has dictated that, as the year draws to a close, our clan sojourn from wherever the journey of our lives has taken us, back to the Bannockburn of Boyle County, to the home of our sage ancestors, where we feast and fest and relish in one another's company. We are a family bound together by tradition, and that same impulse has given rise to the practice of each child and grandchild, and eventually great-grandchild, performing some feat for the pleasure of the court. This year, I would like to share with you my myth of Granny and Granddaddy. I have always seen my grandfather as a knight. As a young man, he left his home that he might defend it, and went to meet the enemy in the field. Upon his return, he obtained his formal education, and, as befitting a knight, received the honorable title of Esquire. In time, like Gideon, Elon, and Samson, all warriors who defended their people, he received the honored title of Judge. Yet he is not puffed up, not brazen, not full of bravado, but rather, like the mythologized chevaliers of the old world, he is humble and kind, and I have never heard him speak ill of anyone. Like all knights, he serves a king, for my grandfather possesses a simple yet strikingly complex faith, born from his struggle, like Jacob on the mountainside, to deepen his understanding, rather than lazing in shallow complacency. In him, I see all that a man ought to be, and I am so grateful that I have such a mold upon which I may model my own conduct and character. My grandfather is not a knight-errant. He serves a lord, and, in keeping with all the best traditions, he has his lady love as well. But she is no mere Marian or Guinevere trapped in a tower. Rather, she is the philosopher queen, the personification of wisdom. It was the oracle of Delphi, priestess of Apollo, god of music, art, and prophecy, who declared Socrates to be the wisest man in the world. Above her temple, the ancients inscribed the holy commandment, Nosce te ipsum, know thyself. This is my image of my grandmother, the oracle, the woman whose knowledge of herself allows her to see into the hearts of others, whose devotion to music and art knows no bounds, who keeps the flame of our family alive. She forewent the pursuit of her own career in law that she might support my grandfather, though she by no means forsook the pursuit of knowledge. She is the bardess, the keeper of the oral tradition of our clan, stretching back into the mists of time. She is the fountainhead of our family's traditions and the soul of its wisdom. I love you both so very much, and I'm so grateful to have the honor of being your grandson, and to spend this Christmas season together once again.
Thank you so much.
That is just absolutely
That is
beautiful.
so
Thank you.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
darling.
That is so great.
It is. It is. It is
Yeah.
so
We're
well
so-
written,
We're so
Ellis. That
fortunate
is so
to have
sweet.
such a fine grandson.
Oh, thank you,
Now,
granddad.
shall we do He's the Top?
That won't be